So, Breath of Fire 2 originally came out in 1994, and then it got ported a bunch until it eventually got sent to the SNES Online a couple months ago. And ever since it was, people would be like, hey, Breath of Fire 2? Until they realized that with my wonderful work ethic, odds are I'd get halfway through making it, and then give up and go for a couple months without posting anything. But, Breath of Fire 2, baby! Like Breath of Fire 1, but breathier. And unlike Breath of Fire 1, dramatic pause. It's good. This game has a massive jump in overall quality compared to the first, with a better story, combat, and menuing. Like, thank you, I can finally understand the menus and know what's going on. But, we still got the issue of not having a good sized font, so they have to abbreviate things, which gives us such gems as Bumsicle. Yes, you heard me. Bumsicle. Anyways, this game starts you off as a young, Fruity Pebbles looking kid who takes a nap in the woods and then wakes up in a seemingly parallel universe where he and his family don't exist. You then join up with a furry named Bo, because he uses a bow. Yes, this game truly is a creative masterpiece. Not too long after joining him, you get lost and then get slaughtered in a dark cave. And then you get to read a bunch of words about dragons, blah blah blah, just let me play the game, blah 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 blah. And then you time skip to the future where apparently mullets are fashionable, and you and Bo are rangers, a title with no meaning, and just requires you to help someone find their pet. Which sounds easy, but it requires you to climb a mountain, fight some harpies, and then cause an avalanche, which took me way too long to do, because I'm bad. After saving the pet, you and Bo head back to town, and Bo gets in trouble with the police because he got framed for stealing something he was planning on stealing anyways. But the thing is, everyone in town thinks he's innocent, but you still gotta put him in hiding for some reason. Like, I even went right up to a guard and told him that I had Bo, the wanted convict, in this garbage bin I was carrying around, and the guard was like, cool, go have fun, man. Anyways, after this part, the game basically starts for real. You get to go to other towns, gain new party members and abilities, and search for who? Framed Bo. This game fixes a big issue I had with the last game, as in it enables you to strategize and stuff in combat extremely early on. Because you start off with a party member, and each character starts off with their own unique combat ability. This makes it so that combat is less of a burden and a bit more fun, because you can actually think through stuff. Or you could just do what I do and take advantage of the rewind feature to get the best RNG possible. Anyways, the only issue I have with the character unique abilities is that there's like no explanation on how they work, so I just sort of guess. Like Bo's critical shot thingy seems to use something other than RNG to decide whether it works, which means I can't just rewind in order to force the game to let me get his crit. The early game is actually pretty difficult though, because it requires quite a bit of grinding, which I refused to do. And for some reason, Bo, our sit-in-the-back archer character, is way tankier than our main character. Not only does he have way more health and defense, he's also just hit significantly less. So most of the first dungeon requires you to just focus on defense boosting and healing the main character, which eventually led to me having him die in the boss fight, which is actually a mid-dungeon battle for some reason. And then that meant that Bo had to hobble through the rest of the dungeon on 4 HP, because I didn't want to die. And because I didn't want to die, I decided to skip past this chest and come back later. But guess what? An avalanche caused by the mid-dungeon boss fight blocks all entrances to the dungeon and means that I will never know the contents of that chest. RIP chest. The monsters in this game also just seem a lot cooler. Like instead of pill bugs, we have leeches and spider thingies. Even the basic slime enemy in this game seems so much more unique than the first game's blob. We also got some new names, like instead of beak, we have gong head, which, being honest, sounds kind of weird. Anyways, the harpy boss fight in this game also just gave the game tons of personality. They seemed to actually exist there for a reason other than just to be murdered. And the boss fight was kept interesting as long as your main character was kept alive, because the harpies would have little dialogue lines that would let you know that they're going to just target your main character in order to help you strategize. And then eventually, the harpies would like get in fights with each other and actually dealt damage to each other, which was just such a unique thing to see from this type of game. And I also completely forgot that the harpies were naked, and that they only wanted to eat the main character because he was hot. Thanks, game. This game was much more merciful with the status conditions, as in I only got one status effect the entire recording session, which was nice, but I figured they would have learned from the last game and made poison actually survivable, but no. I guess some things never change. Anyways, to finish this off, Breath of Fire 2 was actually a really solid game, and something I would look forward to playing more. And the devs definitely took a look back at their first game and did what they could to make this one really shine. They fixed a ton, but there's still a couple of issues I had. But in the end, all I have to say is, if they don't let me be able to walk diagonally in the next one, then I'm going to lose it.